We got carried away, way, way. We spend hours sharing.
Hey everyone, Sam Smyers here. I am an artist and music producer in Los Angeles, California. Today I want to talk to you about how to use Waves plugins to mix pop vocals. Waves plugins are some of the best plugins available today. You can grab them individually for $29.99 and upward, depends on the plugin. They're used on all kinds of Grammy Award-winning records, hit records, and it would make sense to just show you how to use them on a pop vocal to get that pop vocal sound. And also, if any of this is helpful, there's a pop vocal mixing cheat sheet in the video description that shows step-by-step how to mix pop vocals similar to this whole process that I'm going to go through in this video. So let's get into this track. So we are going to be going through my song Friends featuring Anya Kotar, and let's go ahead and listen to the vocal with all the effects on it in the track.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun, yeah. Started watching all the shows I heard you like, so I had something to say, yeah. When everybody leaves the party, it's just us. We got carried away, way, way, yeah. We spend hours sharing.
Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take all these off, and we're gonna listen to the vocal dry, and then begin adding some of these plugins and mixing the vocal.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah.
So you can see what I do first is I'll listen to the vocal dry and get it set at a level that sounds good with the track. I have it at -8 dB. If I put it at 0,
every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue.
It's pretty loud, so we'll start taking it down.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun, yeah.
Now, if we listen to vocal, it's pretty well recorded. There's a little bit of background noise in that vocal, not too much. Let's go ahead and we'll do some subtractive EQing first. And this is a Q8. We're going to take out some of the mid to low end information. So this is going to be around 250 to 500.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun, yeah. Started watching all the shows I heard you like, so I had something to say, yeah.
You can see that I just added a low cut filter too. I'll always add a low cut to vocals because you're usually not using any of that information below about 100 hertz. And we can see which frequencies we don't want by taking one of these band EQ nodes. We can raise it up high and just sweep through the vocal like this. And then when we find something that kind of irritates us or doesn't sound good, we can all of a sudden bring it down like that. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun.
We can hear around 500, it sounds a little boxy, so we'll take down a little bit there, and then we'll take down a little bit at 250. So once we do that, we can do some multiband compression, doing the same thing, looking at frequencies that we don't need in the track and kind of reducing them a little bit.
Every single time I try to talk. Fun, yeah. Started watching all the shows I heard you like.
So right here, I'm just taking off some of the lower end information, just using the multiband compression to take off some of 800 hertz.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah.
Okay, so once I do that, we can go ahead and throw in a Deesser and take off some of the harsh S sounds.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue.
And I'm using this sidechain thing right here to listen to the audio that I'm affecting.
Cause I think you're really fun, yeah. Started watching all the shows I heard you like.
So that's it without the deesser. Let's listen to it with the deesser on.
Started watching all the shows I heard you like. So I...
Now this compressor is called the CLA 76. It's based off of the 1176, which is a hardware compressor. I use it a lot for vocals and instruments. And this is CLA, which stands for crystalloid algae. And it's one of the signature series plugins that Waves offers. So if we take a look at this little switch has a little analog sound. It'll add a little bit of a hum to it, the audio. So I tend to just turn this off. And then I have a relatively fast attack and a fast release. In this compressor, you have these numbers. The higher the number, the faster the attack is. The higher the number, the faster the release is. And I have it at a ratio of 4:1.
Started watching all the shows I heard you like. So I had something to say, yeah.
And so you can see I'm knocking off about between 3 and 7 dB. And now what we can do is we can add on another compressor. Instead of taking off even more dB with the first compressor, we can add a second compressor to take off some more dB and make the sound of using the compression a little more transparent. We can do this by using 2 compressors in a series instead of 1 compressor doing most of the gain reduction. So I'm going to use the RVox, which is a really simple compressor. It's really good for throwing on background vocals because it kind of dials in the sound really quick.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah.
I'm knocking off another 3 dB here with the RVox, and then I've taken down the gain a little bit here because it has an auto gain and I don't want to really increase the gain that much. So after we add the RVox, we're going to add a little bit of high-end information to the vocals. Now that we've done some subtractive EQing, we've added some compression, we are actually increasing some of the high-end information just by compressing some of the high-end information that we haven't knocked off from the subtractive EQing and the de-essing. Here, I'm not adding too much of a high-end push, maybe about 3 dB, and a high shelf EQ at about 3500.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah.
Now there's another plugin that I like to use to add in high-end called the 550B, the API 550B. And this is a really great plugin modeled after an analog unit. And what I have right here, I have a high shelf starting about 5K, about 4 dB boost.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun.
And that's actually adding quite a bit of high-end shine to this vocal. And once I add in the high information here, I'm going to add in some more harmonics to the vocal. I tend to do this with some kind of saturation or distortion. And here I'm using Manny Marroquin's distortion. Manny Marroquin is another great audio engineer that has a bunch of signature series plugins with Waves. And right here we have a direct level, we have the distortion level, and you can see I have the distortion level mixed in a little bit, not 100%. I have it mixed in maybe like 10 to 15%, and then the direct level I have it at 100, and not too much drive here.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun, yeah.
Okay, so next we want to add some reverb and some delay. And whenever I add in a reverb or delay, I add them into an audio effect rack. As you can see here, I have the reverb signal, I have a clean signal, and then I have the 1/8 delay, which is what I'm adding. Now the reverb that I am using is going to be Manny Marroquin's reverb, which is a hall reverb. So let's go ahead and listen to that reverb by itself. Now you can hear that's a lot of reverb. I have it at basically 0. And let's listen to it with the clean signal.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up.
So now I just mixed it into with the clean vocal so that it is just underneath it, it's not overpowering it. And I'm also knocking off some of the low end information of the reverb so that it doesn't muddy up the vocal too much. And I'm using a Q8. So next, we're going to add in a delay. I'm going to use the H delay, which is a very simple and great delay plugin.
Every single time I try to talk.
So there's the delay by itself. And now let's go ahead and mix that in with the clean vocal.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun, yeah. Started watching all the shows I heard you like, so I had something to say, yeah. When everybody leaves the party, it's just us. We got carried away, yeah. We spend hours sharing secrets. We hold hands, but never like lips, and I'm starting to wonder.
So there you have it. That's the vocal by itself. Let's listen to it in the track.
Every single time I try to talk to you, end up biting my tongue, yeah. Cross my fingers, said I wanna mess this up, cause I think you're really fun, yeah. Started watching all the shows I heard you like, so I had something to say, yeah. When everybody leaves the party, it's just us. We got carried away, yeah. We spend hours sharing secrets. We hold hands.
So you can hear some background tracks in this pre-chorus part, and basically once I get the processing down for the lead vocal, I can apply a lot of that same processing to the background tracks. Because if the vocal is recorded by the same vocalist in the same room using the same mic, a lot of the same settings will work across all the tracks. So there you have it. That is my song Friends on your guitar. I mixed these vocals here with 100% Waves plugins. And if you go into the description of this video, I will include a vocal chain preset using stock plugins and also a vocal mixing cheat sheet that you can use that shows a lot of the similar processes that I used in this video. So there you have it. That is how you mix pop vocals with Waves plugins. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and grab the pop vocal mixing cheat sheet, and that will show you step by step the whole process of how I mix pop vocals. And if this video was helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.